I hope you all are fine. Let's start our today's lecture. Today lecture is about the introduction of computer systems and softwares, in which we discuss the computer and components and the types of their components. So that is section number one, in which we have to elaborate components of different computer systems. As according to our needs, sometimes we have to share data towards multiple people, sometimes individual person has to use the computer, sometimes we have to use the computer in other forms like in form of ATM machines. So we have variety of computer systems around us, so we can say that there are multiple types of computer. And as there are multiple types of computers, so the components of these computer system are also different from one another. So we will discuss components of different computer system. First of all, we will discuss the main types of computer systems and what are the components that we are using along with these computer systems. First thing is that we have to understand the computer, as computer is well familiar to all of us. Computer, we all know that computer is a machine, but that machine is a programmable machine. Programmable machines, that machine can work according to our instruction, and we can change the working behavior of our device according to our programs or according to our softwares. So it accepts the data. First of all, we have to provide the data. After that, our computer will do the processing on our data, and it will provide us the information. So the data or the information that we are providing towards the computer is based on a program or a sequence of instructions. Like whenever we are feeding data inside the computer, that data will be fed towards a software on keyboard, on notepad, by using the keyboard or by using the mouse. We have to use the set of instructions or programs. Program means the software, and the software means the set of instructions that are already available in the computer. These set of instruction is helping the computer for the processing. So after feeding the data inside the computers, the second step is processing, and after processing, the results will be displayed according to our instructions, and we have to store these instructions as well as the results inside the computer, because the older form of the computer is the calculator, and in the calculator we are doing the calculation same as we are doing inside the computer. But the flaw was that we was unable to store the results. When we was unable to store the results, we cannot retrieve that data for the future. So there is also a storage function, that is also a basic function of computer. So that is the basic functionalities of computer, in which we have to involve the input, output, backing storage, and the central processing storage. So first of all, we have to provide the input, then processing will be done, and then the output will be displayed. Input will be provided by the input devices, output will be displayed on the output devices. Processing will be done by the central processing unit, that is also the brain of computer, and the central processing unit will receive the data from the backing storage and also sends the data towards the backing storage. Now, categories. There are different variety of computers. As we discussed in the start, there are different forms of computers are available, because in our environment, every type of work we have to do. We have to facilitate our clients. We have to do the office work. We have to use the computer as a student. We have to utilize the computer in different forms. For that purpose, we have to categorize the computers according to their size and their functionalities also. So based on the capacity, speed, reliability, they can be divided into the different category, but on the basis of size, there are the following types: supercomputers, mainframe computers, mini computers, multimedia computer systems, mid-range computer system, and workstation. And the most commonly used over PCs are personal computers. Now, according to the base of data, or we can say that the input nature of the computer, sometimes we have to provide the analog data, sometimes we are providing the digital data, and sometimes we are providing the analog or digital data, or we are providing the data in the combination. So these are the hybrid computers. So there are the different forms of data are available, and according to our category of input, we can categorize the computer in three types: analog, digital, and the hybrid computers. Now, first of all, supercomputers. As the name indicates, these are the super means the best, the powerful computers. Now, these are the biggest and the fastest computers. Fastest means they can process the huge amount of data at the highest speed. So they are designed in such a way that they can hold thousands of processors inside them, so they can process the large amount of data in, or we can say that in other words, we can say that they can execute trillion of instructions in just a second. So that's the reason only behind that they have multiple processors, thousands of processor inside their body. So it is basically used in scientific and engineering applications, like whenever we have to forecast the weather, or we have to do the simulations, we have to work on the nuclear energy. So for the research purposes, or for the huge calculations, and for forecasting behavior, like we have to forecast about the disasters, natural disasters. So for our predictions and for our research purpose, we need to evaluate the millions of instructions, a trillion of instructions in a second. So in these areas, we have to use the supercomputers. So these are the characteristics of supercomputer, as they are much famous because of their speed, and if they having the structure in that we are using a lot of processors in them. So we can say that these are the most expensive computers. Again, we can say that they are the powerful computers because they can calculate the trillion of instructions per second. It is used to in the stock market, or big organization for managing the online currency world, such as the Bitcoin, etc. So it is used in the scientific research areas for online analyzing the data obtained from exploring the solar system, satellites, and etc. So where we have to do the calculation, extreme calculation, we have to use the supercomputers. Now the next one are the mainframe computer. Mainframe computers are the computers whenever we have multiple clients and we have to facilitate these clients in the same time. So simultaneously they have to access the same application, same data, or same services. In that environment, we have to use the mainframe computers. So they are can and they're designed in such a way that they can support the hundred or thousands of computers at the same time. So they can handle, because the multiple persons has to use these computer, and every person has to use different variety or different set of applications. So these computer has the ability to support multiple programs simultaneously. So they can execute different processes, different applications, different things simultaneously. So all these features make the mainframe computer ideal for big organization, like in banking, in telecommunication sectors, in the areas like in the universities where we have multiple students are there. So in that areas, we can use the mainframe computers when we have to facilitate multiple persons. So as their work is powerful, so they are expensive, but they are less expensive as compared to supercomputers. And it has the high storage capacity and great performance, but they that storage and the performance is less as compared to the supercomputer. It can process huge amount of data involved in banking sector very quickly. It runs smoothly for the long time and has a long life, because these are the expensive computer, and we have to facilitate over users, and there not be denial of service will not be there. So we have to make these computers on the pattern so they can survive for a long period of time. Now the next one are the mini computers. They are same as the mainframe computer, but their size, capacity, and the storage is less as compared to the mainframe computer. The purpose of both computers are same. They have to facilitate the multiple persons at the same time. But mainframe computers are the expensive computer, and sometimes we have to handle the hundreds of users at the same time. We don't have to handle the thousands of users per time at the same time. So at that environment, mainframe computer will be expensive for over use. So for that purpose, we have to utilize the mini computers when we have to handle the less users as compared to the mainframe computers. So many computers used in the places like institutes, departments for different work like billing, accounting, inventory management. Like for over main banking environment, we are utilizing the mainframe computer, but at branches we can utilize the mini computers for over networking purpose. So they are smaller than the mainframe computer but larger than the microcomputers are the personal computers. So as they are smaller in size, they are lighter in the weight, and easily, so we can say that they are portable as compared to the mainframe computers, and we can easily shift that computers from one place to another place. And as we discussed that who has the less budget, they can utilize the mini computers. So because they are the less expensive computer, they are faster as compared to the microcomputer, but they are slower as compared to the mainframe computer. Now the workstations, they are dedicated computers, are specific computers. They can do a specific task, a single task at the same time. Like they are designed for the technical or scientific application. Like they can only measure the temperature, they can only measure, they can only use for the transaction. So they are not the general purpose computers, they are the specific computers. These computers are designed only for a specific task. All other things are same. They has the microprocessor, large amount of RAM, high speed graphic adapter, and they are the single user computers, but they are specified to one task only. So accuracy is the they has the highest accuracy, because whenever only they have to handle only one type of task, so the accuracy will be fine. So it is expensive or high in cost because we have to maintain the accuracy as well as the speed. So they are designed for the complex work. It because it is single task they have to perform, so we have to design the computers according to our need. So it provides the large storage capacity with better graphics and more powerful CPU as compared to over microcomputers. So they are used to handle the animation, data analysis like computer aided designing, computer aided manufacturing, audio and video creations, and editing. Now, the microcomputers are, in other words, we can say that personal computers, PCs. These are the computers that are the most commonly used computers. Every person is using these computers in the offices, at the colleges, or at the homes. So it is basically the general purpose computer and designed for the individual use. It consists of microprocessor as a central processing unit, memory input unit, and the output unit. All these four tasks will be in all the computers, because these are the main functions of the computer: input, output, processing, and storage. So this kind of computer is suitable for the personal work such as making the assignment, watching a movie, or at the office for the office work, because these are the general purpose computers. For example, laptops, desktops, mobile phones, MacBooks, these are the types of our microcomputers. Mm, as they have the less capacity, limited capacity, so limited softwares can be used, smaller in size. They are designed for the personal use. That's why they call the personal computers, and they are very user friendly and they are very easy to use. Now, multimedia computer systems. Multimedia means the combination of text, audio, and video, where the animation, photography, digitization of audio and video is required. We have to use the multimedia computers. Mention multimedia, many people think of computer video games, multimedia encyclopedias, educational videos, and multimedia homepages on the World Wide Web. So for the creation of these things, we can utilize these computers. So they are widely used in the business for training the employees, educating customers, making the sale presentation, and adding impact to other business presentation. Where the graphics related activities have to perform, we have to utilize these computers. As to deal with the large amount of data, very high processing power is required, because as we know, the high speed is required when we are dealing with the videos. So file system must be efficient to meet the requirement of continuous media, because in video, if there is a pause or delay, the quality will not be good. So the media files require very high disk bandwidth rate, because if transfer speed is higher, bandwidth means the transfer rate in 1 second. So if the transfer rate is higher, then we can provide the continuous media towards our user. So the multimedia data consists of variety of media formats for the files that can be JPEG, MPEG, AVI, midwave, doc, GIF, PNG. So different variety of media is available in these computers. In multimedia application, the input and output should be continuous and fast, as we are working with the videos. Mid-range computer system. Mid-range computers including mini computer and high-end network servers are the multi-user systems that can manage network PCs and terminals. So as the name indicates, they are in between the super and mainframe and the microcomputers. So mid-range computers serve as the industrial processes control and manufacturing plant computers, and they still play a major role in computer aided manufacturing, where we have to assemble different components. And so for that purpose, we can use mid-range computers. So they become very popular as a network servers, because they are the latest computers as compared to the mainframe computer and the mini computer, and they are powerful. So for that purpose, now we are utilizing these computer instead of mainframe and the mini computer. So they are working as a servers to help to manage the large internet websites, corporate intranets and extranets, and the client server network. So where we have to handle the multiple clients, we can also use the mid-range computer systems. So the mid-range computer sits between the personal computer and the mainframe in terms of processing power and the size. As the name suggests, these are the mid-range. So higher range is the mainframe computer, and the lower range is the microcomputer. So they lies in between these two types. So it is the combination of faster processors rated higher in millions of instructions per second are MIPS. So the capability of having the more processors running at once and the greater memory capacity, because we need faster speed, so we have to manage these things. So it is capable of doing similar task as a mainframe, just not quite on the same large scale, because these are the mid-range computers. So still we are using the mainframe. Analog computers, no, in different environment, we have to provide the continuous data. or we have to input the continuous data like voltage and the temperature. These are the continuous values, and we have to measure these values. For that purpose, we have to use the analog computers. So the continuous values can be entered by using the analog computers. So analog computer is used where we don't need exact values or need approximate values such as the speed, temperature, pressure, etc., where we have to calculate the value in the approximately, not exact equal values, are where the accuracy does not matter, but still we have to measure some quantities. So it can directly accept the data from the measuring device without first converting it into the numbers or the codes, because as we know, in computer, first of all, we have to convert all the data in form of 0 and 1, because the computer, digital computer, or over all other types of computer can only understand 0 and 1. But in analog computer, directly we are using the sensing devices like temperature sensing or pressure sensing or the speed sensing devices, and they are calculating by um, they can do the calculation on these input values. So it measures the continuous changes in the physical quantity it gives output as reading on the dial or a scale, for example speedometer, mercury thermometer, and etc. Now, the analog machines are designed for the specific purpose, because the temperature machine cannot sense the voltage, and the voltage machine cannot sense the temperature. So, these are generally used for monitor real world conditions like wind, sound, movement, temperature, etc., because here we have to measure the continuous value. In addition to the technical applications like automated transmission and the musical synthesizers, analog computers are also used to solve the specific computational problems of the practical nature. So, where the physical quantity involves, we can utilize these computers. Digital computers, they are different from the analog computers, where accuracy is required. We have to measure the exact values. We have to use the digital computers. All the previous types, that are the mid-range computers or the mainframe computers, mini computers, these are the categories, or we can say that the types of digital computers. So digital computers are designed in such a way that it can easily perform the calculation and the logical operations like comparison operations at a high speed. So it takes the raw data that is not in the processed form or in the meaningful form. And the computer itself processes the data and make it the meaningful, or convert it the data into the meaningful information. So we have to do the storage inside these computers, and we have to use the memory. As we discussed, it can only understand the 0 and 1, because, as we discussed in the start, the computer is an electronic machine. Electricity means there are only two states, on state and off state. So the computer can only understand the on state and off state. So we have to represent the on state with the 1 and off state with the 0. That's why we can say that the language of our computer is 0 and 1. So whenever we are giving the data in any form, like in voice, in text, or in other characters or numbers, first thing is that we have to convert all type of data into the 0 and 1. Then the computer can understand over instructions, and then the processing will be done on these instructions. And after the processing, the results again will be converted by the computer into the human's understandable form. Then the output will be shown in front of us. So all modern computers like laptop, desktops, including the smartphones, are the digital computers. So these are the automated computers. The speed of operation is high, and they can carry out the trillion of operations in 1 second, as we have discussed different types. So these we can easily understand their characteristics. So digital computer stores the information in encoded form, which guarantees its accurate retrieval, as it can understand, like if we are entering the text, it will convert in 01 form and then it will reconvert into the text form. So these computers are versatile in the sense that they can carry out different type of jobs at a time. So we can say that these are the general purpose computers. So it can store and recall any amount of information because it has the memory capability, and they can store the data permanently.